What if I told you a fifth-round rookie, a first-rounder, not a top 100 pick, but a fifth-round rookie just made a contract move so bold, so game-changing that NFL owners are sweating. Agents are blowing up phones. Front offices across the league are holding emergency meetings, scrambling to figure out how to respond. I'm talking about Shedeur Sanders. And if you think this is just another rookie signing story, you're missing the bigger picture. Because this isn't just about football. This is about power. This is about leverage. This is about reshaping how business gets done in professional sports. And what just happened in Cleveland could mark the start of a complete cultural shift in the NFL. So let's rewind for a second. The Browns just signed Shedeur Sanders to his rookie deal. For years, $4.6 million. On paper, pretty standard stuff. He was the 144th overall pick in the 5th round. Nothing to raise eyebrows over, at least. So that's what it looks like. But hidden in the mindset behind this contract is something revolutionary. Something called prime equity. This is the kind of move that could rewrite how players approach their careers and how teams try to hold on to control. So if you're intrigued, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for being here. Let's dive into how Shedeur Sanders just shook the system. Now stay with me, because what I'm about to walk you through might be one of the most groundbreaking shifts we've ever seen in NFL contract negotiations. 2 words: prime equity and no. This isn't some catchy phrase Shedeur Sanders made up to sound slick. This is a total redefinition of what a player's value means in today's NFL. It goes way beyond stats, highlights, or combined numbers. Prime equity is the understanding that in a media-driven world, some players are the product. They're not just athletes anymore, they're brands. They're creators, influencers, they're walking media empires. And Shedeur Sanders, he's the prototype. See, most rookies enter the NFL just hoping to make the roster, keep their heads down, take what they're offered, hope to prove themselves. Shedeur walked into that negotiation room already knowing who he was on the field and off of it. He didn't just bring his game film. He brought metrics followers, engagement rates, branding power, nil revenue, YouTube views. He didn't show up asking for a chance. He showed up owning the conversation. He said, "I'm not just here to play quarterback. I'm bringing a media ecosystem with me." And that changed the whole vibe in the room, because that's prime equity. It's the idea that his value isn't just about passes or plays, it's about business. It's a concept shaped by his father, Coach Prime Deion Sanders. And look, Deion wasn't just a legendary athlete. He was the brand. Flash, charisma, sound bites, suits, style. He was athlete marketing before that was even a thing. But Shedeur isn't just copying that model, he's upgrading it, because he doesn't need ESPN or the NFL Network to build his brand. He is the network. He's got a YouTube show, he's streaming on Twitch, he's dropping content straight to fans. He wanted to release a documentary tomorrow. It would be trending by midnight. That's what it means to own your audience. That's prime equity, and here's where it gets real. The NFL is noticing, and not necessarily in a comfortable way. Sources are already saying that prime equity-inspired language is being included in actual contract negotiations, not as a gimmick, as leverage. And Shedeur's team isn't playing small ball. They're setting a precedent. Now think about what this means. You've got college athletes coming into the league already making millions through NIL deals. Are they going to accept basic rookie contracts that undervalue them? No chance. And Shedeur might be the first guy to draw that line in the sand. Hearing whispers that future players will demand that their rookie contracts match or exceed what they made in college. Not as a bonus, as a baseline. Imagine a quarterback walking in and saying, "I made $2.5 million at Colorado last year." That's the floor. Sounds wild now, but give it a year or two, it could be the new norm, and Shedeur. He's already kicked that door wide open. This isn't some TikTok quarterback doing dances for clicks. He's running a full-scale brand. Operation, sponsorships, merch drops, streaming revenue, multiple income streams. He's built a media powerhouse independent of football. And that's the part that should have the league sweating. Because once players realize they don't need the NFL to make money, once they realize they can be the boss, not just the employee, the entire business model starts to crack. We're heading toward a future where players negotiate like entrepreneurs, where contracts don't just hinge on touchdowns or tackles, but on engagement, reach, and brand value, and leading the charge. Shedeur Sanders, let's be clear, this isn't fantasy. This is real. This is happening. And if you're still thinking, he's just a 5th-round pick, what's the big deal? You've already missed it. You're thinking like it's 2004, but it's 2024. Influence is currency. Audience is leverage. And Shedeur Sanders just walked into the NFL with both in his pocket, and the wildest part, he's not alone. There's an entire generation of athletes watching him right now, learning, preparing, getting ready to follow that same path. And when dozens of them start negotiating with prime equity in mind, the NFL will have no choice but to evolve, be left behind. So yeah, this may have looked like just another rookie deal. For years, $4.6 million. Nothing flashy, but when you zoom out and really look at what's happening, you see it for what it is, a spark, one that could ignite a revolution. Shedeur Sanders isn't just building a career, he's launching a movement, and the NFL will never be the same again. If you made it this far, take a second to hit that subscribe button, like the video, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Let me break this down for you. There's a contract making serious noise right now, and it's not your average NFL deal. Word is, the Mac deal includes a $2 million bonus, but here's the catch. Shedeur only gets it if his combined content on YouTube, Instagram, or Twitch hits 10 million views during the regular season. Yeah, you heard that right. NFL contracts are starting to factor in social media performance. Hey, that's a whole new level. But that's not even the craziest part. Here's where it gets groundbreaking: content ownership. If the clause goes through as written, Shedeur keeps full ownership of all his behind-the-scenes content that's not produced by or for the team. That means any live streams, personal vlogs, documentary stuff showing the real him, not the team-filtered version, stays under his control. No league involvement, no team monetization. That's his vault, and then there's the merch. Shedeur reportedly gets 20% of all sales on items that use his name, image, or approved branding. Every jersey, every shirt, every hoodie with his logo, a cut of that goes directly to him. This is way beyond just game checks now. This is a full-on revenue ecosystem. Now, I'll be real with you. My source wasn't totally convinced the league would agree to all of this, especially the most aggressive clause in the deal, the brand equity match. That would let Shedeur co-invest in future team media projects. He wouldn't just be a player, he'd be a business partner. But here's the thing, the fact that this is even being discussed? That's huge, because players like Shedeur Sanders don't rely on the NFL the way guys used to. They've got their own audiences, their own platforms, their own revenue streams. That flips the entire power dynamic. This is what we're calling prime equity. And it's not just about getting more money, it's about getting paid differently. In today's world, A player's value isn't just about touchdowns or passing yards. It's about their media reach, their cultural influence, their ability to drive conversation and create impact even without stepping on the field. So when Coach Prime said, "We don't sign contracts, we build legacies," he wasn't just hyping his son. He was laying out a whole new blueprint for how athletes can take control of their careers. Because here's the truth, Shedeur Sanders is flipping the script. The NFL is starting to realize it needs players like him more than they need the league. When you can pull millions of views and generate real income completely on your own, you're not just an athlete, you're a brand. And the Browns, they saw that. They didn't just sign a quarterback, they invested in prime equity. They bought into a player who could reshape their image, boost their media presence, and ignite fan energy like we haven't seen in years. Think about it. Then when was the last time Cleveland's quarterback room got this kind of buzz? Pick making national headlines. That's Shedeur's presence at work. And here's the wild part, he might not even be the starter in week 1. Word is, the Browns are keeping things competitive. Guys like Dylan Gabriel are still in the mix. But honestly, it doesn't even matter. Because even if Shedeur's on the sideline, he's still generating value. Every headline, every merch drop, every YouTube breakdown, it's all ROI. This is why the prime equity model is so revolutionary. It expands how we measure a player's worth. It's not just about game stats anymore, it's about media impact, community influence, and how players partner with teams to grow together. So where do we go from here? What happens if this becomes the new normal? What if future stars start saying, "Yeah, I'll sign, but only if I own my content and get my share of the brand equity"? We could be witnessing the start of a major shift in pro sports, because the NFL won't just be competing with other leagues. It'll be competing with YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Netflix, all platforms where players can go independent if the deal's right. And that's the real question, not if prime equity will change the league, but how fast and how big that change will be if Shedeur pulls this off, if this model delivers real results for both him and the Browns. Don't be surprised when the next wave of athletes demand the same. This is the future of athlete empowerment. This is what it looks like when players stop acting like employees and start acting like entrepreneurs. And Shedeur Sanders, he might just be the one to spark the revolution. So now I want to hear from you. What do you think about this prime equity idea? Is it the future of the NFL? Or is this just a one-time power move? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want more stories like this, contract details the mainstream media won't touch, behind-the-scenes deals, and the future of sports business, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Trust me, the Shedeur Sanders story, it's just getting started. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.